Hi everyone, my name is Zoljin. This is me right here. This is Ellen, Nora, and Danny. And today we're going to be talking about The Brothers by Leslie Tenorio. And my name is Zoljin, and I'm going to be talking about the plot summary. So, at the start of the story, we have Edmund reflecting back on the last time he saw his sister, which was on national TV titled Is She a He? Is He a She? And later on, it was actually revealed that Edmund's sister died, and now him along with Mar trying to fabricate this story to tell relatives, while also trying to put together a funeral for her. And throughout this, Edmund is reflecting back on his broken relationship with his sibling. So the climax of the story is during the funeral ceremony at their house where Edmund encounters Raquel, who's a very close friend of Erica. They exchange a few words that offered a new perspective for Edmund, and one thing led to another, and he's now headed to Raquel's place where Erica essentially resided as well. And during Edmund's visit, he learns more and more about Erica's life, and feelings of confusion and regret for not having the best relationship with his sibling clouds his mind as he thinks about how things could have turned out differently had he chosen to take her home instead of leaving her in the Tenderloin. And at the end, Ma dresses Erica up as a last ditched effort to recast her into the person she wanted her to be, while Edmund tries to intervene. He also tries to take steps to reconcile with his deceased sister as he returns to visit Raquel at the end.
The story takes place in multiple locations, but it was mainly based in San Francisco, and each place reflects something different about Eric's life and Almon's journey. So firstly, we have the TV studio. While Eric went on a TV show and to prove his identity, this scene is so heartbreaking for me because instead of being accepted, he was judged by the audience. So yeah. And then we have the Eric apartment in Tenderloin. So there's a place where he could be himself, but it also has a hint of isolation. Yeah, and then next we have the funeral home in North Oakland. There is one of the most conflict or the most intense moments happen in the story. So we also have a mass house. Um, like the mass house was for me I think it's about tradition and denial because his mom never accepted Aries as a woman, and this how reflect it's how narrow-minded. Yeah. And then finally we have the required place. There's a space of understanding and acceptance. So Wakao knew Aries for who he was, and so because of her, Amon started to understand his brother better. Things like that.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danny, and I'm going to be covering the characters and conflicts of the short story, The Brothers. So, start off with the main character. His name is Edmund. He's the brother of Erica and the son of Ma. He is conservative, nostalgic, but by the end, he is regretful of the way he treated Erica in the past. There's Erica, an outgoing, open-minded, independent, and adventurous transgender woman. She's unaccepted by her family, which forces her to find family and home elsewhere. She is the sister of Edmund and the daughter of Ma, although they do not accept that to be, like, the reality. There's Ma, the mother of Edmund and Erica. She's very conservative, super religious Catholic, unaccepting. She believes in the stereotypical family structure as well as stereotypical gender roles. And then there's Raquel, a sister of Erica. She is a trans woman that worked with Erica at the Who's Who, and she is very open, accepting, and is aware of the situation. She acts as a source of closure for Edmund when it comes to Erica. And then the conflicts. Character versus character conflicts. Erica's conflict with her family. She gets kicked out and goes out without contact with her mom for a while and rarely is in contact with Edmund. Edmund understanding his brother's odd actions and dealing with the results of them in his inner family circle with his mother. Internal conflicts. Ma's denial about the fact that Erica was trans and the concept of her death is present as she wraps the body, trying to hide away Erica's chest and putting Erica in one of her husband's suits. She is trying to hide Erica from the world because of her own selfish shame. Edmund feels regret when it comes to how he treated Erica and how he refused to make an effort to understand until after her death. And both Ma and Edmund are in mourning. Ma is mourning the loss of a child, and Edmund is mourning the loss of his sibling and the loss of his wife as they are going to get divorced. Thank you.
So we came up with 4 symbols, and I wrote these 2. The first being the eucalyptus tree, where their mom chose to bury Erica near. And the meaning for this tree is purification, which could symbolize the rejection she had for his transition, since throughout the whole entire story, she did not accept him for who he is or supported him in any way possible. Another symbol that I came up with was the Who's Who, which was the place that Erica worked in. And the word Who's Who could be a play on words for Hosho? I think it's Hosho, but this translates. Oh, I wrote it wrong, but this translates into peace, balance, and harmony. And there's a phrase that's to be in Hosho, it means to be at one with and a part of the world around you. And this place was like his safe haven as he was rejected outside in the real world. And everyone in the Who's Who accepted him for the way he was. And there was a quote that I forgot to put in, but I remember Raquel saying that it looked like heaven, which is what Hosho is basically kind of is. Another symbol that I came up with was the Who's Who, which was the place that Erica worked in. And the word Who's Who could be a play on words for Hosho? I think it's Hosho, but this translates. Oh, I wrote it wrong, but this translates into peace, balance, and harmony. And there's a phrase that's to be in Hosho, it means to be at one with and a part of the world around you. And this place was like his safe haven as he was rejected outside in the real world. And everyone in the Who's Who accepted him for the way he was. And there was a quote that I forgot to put in, but I remember Raquel saying that it looked like heaven, which is what Hosho is basically kind of is.
A symbol that I found was Erica's asthma. Edmund recalls a moment during his childhood where Erica had severe asthma, and during this time, she exhibited behaviors of gender dysphoria. And as she got older and started receiving gender affirming care, her asthma began to dwindle, symbolizing a sense of freedom, as she's now able to breathe freely, expressing herself when she was kicked out. And in the end, when Ma was trying to bind her chest to cover her breast, Edmund says, "If my brother were alive, he wouldn't be able to breathe," representing her being trapped again in a body that's not representative of her own identity.
The story takes place in multiple locations, but it was mainly based in San Francisco, and each place reflects something different about Aries' life and Elmo's journey. So firstly, we have the TV studio, while everyone on a TV show and to prove his identity. This scene is so heartbreaking for me because instead of being accepted, he was judged by the audience. So yeah. And then we have the Eric apartment in Tendaleon. So there's a place where he could be himself, but it also has a hint of isolation. Yeah, and then next we have the funeral home in North Oakland. There is one of the most conflict or the most intense moments happen in the story. So we also have a mass house. Um, like the mass house was for me I think it's about tradition and denial because his mom never accepted Aries as a woman, and this how reflect it's how narrow-minded. Yeah, and then finally we have the required place. There's a space of understanding and acceptance. So Wakao knew Aries for who he was, and so because of her, a monster to understand his brother better, things like that.
So we came up with two key quotes, and I wrote this one with this explanation. Just as I walk out the door, she hands me $40 for the cab ride back to Oakland and refuses to take it back. You brought me home, she says. If you didn't, I could be dead too. Earlier in the story, Edmund gave Eric $60 while Eric gave 20 of it back, acting as a parallel to Raquel's interaction with him. The remaining 40 that Raquel gave Edmund for the cab ride could act as Eric's last way of paying back his brother for helping him. Although his brother was absent throughout most of his life as a woman, this last gesture that Edmund did for Raquel was the most he has done for him ever since he gave him that 60.
Kinda adding on to the quote Ellen found, the cause of Erica's death was never really confirmed. In the beginning of the book, it was mentioned that she died due to her airways swelling up, which Ma didn't really seem to buy. But as Raquel extended her gratitude to Edmund near the end for driving her home, otherwise she could be dead too, that, along with the incisions found on Erica's neck, could imply that she was assaulted. And also, given that she lived in the Tenderloin area where there's higher rates of crime, and her being a transgender woman just puts her at an even higher risk for assault. The other quote that we have says that, "But your knee, I point out the steepness of the hill, warn her that years from now, when she's older, getting to Eric will be difficult. Then you help me," Ma says, starting towards the car. "You help me get to him." I kind of interpreted the hill as being a representation of Ma's own regret for not being the type of supportive mother she should have been. Deep down, she still has love for Erica, but struggles to see things from her perspective since they have opposing beliefs. But her asking Edmund for help to try to get to him can represent her putting effort in order to really understanding Erica. And that concludes our chapter analysis on the brothers. These are our responses, and yeah, thanks for watching.